Happy weekend to everyone. On this Friday early evening, 8 p.m. on the East Coast, we are bringing you some Friendly Neighborhood History Channel Q&A, a great way to start your weekend at our new time and our new day. This is only the second week that we are doing Friday nights for our live Q&A. So this is the type of the time of the week where we come together and basically people ask me anything they'd like to about different types of history, social studies, things like that. And this is a time for the channel to grow and for everybody, for me to give back. During the week, I produce all sorts of different content, history related, social studies related, that you guys really enjoy and you give great feedback on. And now is the time where I turn it around and get to hear from you. Topics, questions, subjects that you would like to bring up and ask about history wise, related to different types of history, social studies, social sciences, geopolitics, both past and present. I try to give as objective and reasonable as a response as possible. And we have been doing this for about 6 months now. We started only doing it on Saturday afternoons, and then it eventually, or early evenings, depending on where you are. And then it kind of evolved into doing it 2 days a week because on the weekends, because people wanted more live stream Q&A. They wanted more questions. They wanted to be able to discuss more historical topics and things like that, and things of that nature. So we are back all the way. So that was back in the late summer. We started doing 2 live streams, Saturdays and Sundays, and now we have decided to grow. We have been growing enough and at such a large pace, mainly due to these amazing live streams, that we are now doing 3 live streams, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, with Friday and Saturday being our two-parter for the live Q&A. Ask me anything history, social science related. So if you have any topics about history or social sciences you would like to learn about, drop them in the chat. Really, really appreciate that. And if you want to become a friendly neighborhood historian, it's as easy as liking and subscribing. Our third part of our live stream is on Sunday afternoons or late evenings, depending on where you are. We have people coming to these live streams from all over the world, so that's really been amazing to see. But Sundays, people come and they ask me anything, not asking, but there are different topics that I want to get to, and usually I save them for the live stream and never can really get around to them. But on Sundays is when it's more of a lecture format that I hope will kind of evolve into some sort of podcast. And we do that Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern. Our Saturday time is 7 p.m. Eastern. And our Friday times, of course, as you know, are 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So those are the 3 different days we do in 3 different times. And Sunday's more of our lecture podcast format. This is only our second week of doing 3-parters. So we are growing. We've got a lot of people coming into the channel, asking a lot of great questions, bringing up a lot of great topics. And we've had some really, really enjoyable moments. We have our wonderful moderator, Simon the Bunny, and he has my social media handles in the chat, so that's pinned. You also can check out my latest full-length video about Halloween and the history of Halloween, All Hallows Eve, that I posted just yesterday, and was really a lot of fun learning more about the history of Halloween myself and being able to communicate that to you guys. So be sure to check that video out after you're done watching this live stream. And again, becoming a friendly neighborhood historian is as easy as liking and subscribing. We are at 5,000 plus and growing, and we are trying to hit 6,000 by the end of the year. If we're lucky and we have a good live stream, we'll hit over 5,200 by the end of tonight. So really looking forward to this live stream and everything we're going to be talking about today. And any questions you guys have, any topics you want to bring up, any areas of the world you want me to talk about, any types of history, drop it in the chat and I will be sure to oblige and answer those questions. But my wonderful moderator, Simon, has a paranormal question. Ooh, spooky, just in time for Halloween, just in time for that season. Of course, Halloween is All Hallows Eve. Today is All Saints Day in certain portions of Christianity, and tomorrow is All Souls Day, Dia de los Muertos in Hispanic culture, especially Mexican culture. Really important holidays celebrating the liminal stages between life and death. The ancient celebration of Halloween, hello, welcome, was based on the ancient Celtic festival between the old year, which ended for them on October 31st, and the new year, which began on November 1st. It also is they would also believe that at this stage, to celebrate the end of the harvest and the coming of the new year on November 1st, that is when the dead souls would be closest to the earth. So anyways, so Simon is asking, did a notable fortune teller ever have an impact on historical events? I don't believe in them personally, however, would be interested to know if they influenced anyone. Well, there have been fortune tellers in different, there have been superstitions and things like of that nature that have made people act and behave in certain manners all throughout history. In fact, the celebration of Halloween itself is based on many superstitions: trick-or-treating, witches, black masses, dressing up in costumes, jack-o'-lanterns. These are all superstitions of one variety or the other. So, uh, so they've never influenced anyone directly, but Attila the Hun, for instance, relied strongly on fortune tellers, and many people believed that their lot in lives, especially in the ancient and classical world, were based on the outcome and the deference and the fate of the gods, and that their fate was ultimately not their own, that they did not have free will, and that they were predestined to do what they ended up doing. So that is a common belief of the ancient world. I don't know about fortune tellers ever changing major events or predicting major. Some of them have predicted events, Nostradamus, Edgar Cayce, people like this, but those have been vague, and people have really put in a lot more weight into these people than they needed to. Interestingly enough, supposedly Rasputin, the mad Siberian monk who influenced the Russian monarchy at the beginning of the 20th century, at the beginning of its collapse, supposedly had a vision in which he saw rivers of blood and he saw World War I, and he warned the Tsar to not get involved in a war with other European countries, and Tsar Nicholas II did not listen, and that led to disaster. And he said that if you are part of this, your entire empire will collapse. So is that good, unique, intuitive political observation from a man who was otherwise pretty illiterate? Perhaps. Is it fortune telling and predictions and prophecy? Perhaps. Many kings and rulers throughout history, Attila the Hun was one I just mentioned, relied on the advice of fortune tellers, and ancient priests were diviners in many ways, coming up with predictions and all sorts of ideas. So, anyways, hello, Nanette. I hope you're still here. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. This is the Friendly Neighborhood History channel. I don't give out my personal information, but I try to give out as much good history information as I possibly can. And I am not the Friendly Neighborhood Historian, but you can be the Friendly Neighborhood Historian if you liked and subscribed. If you liked my little explanation to Simon the Bunny just now about different rulers and how they use fortune tellers and diviners and priests to be able to tell their future, perhaps you would like to learn more about history of the ancient world and of other times in history. It helps the channel to grow. So, Simon's saying Hocus Pocus is his favorite Halloween movie. Are there any historical facts or influences in the movie, particularly related to the Salem witch trials and the Trail of Witchcraft? I think there's definitely an exaggeration about this. I don't think I've ever seen that one, but there's definitely an exaggeration about the influence of Halloween films. Of witches on have been fascinated by witchcraft ever since they came over from England at the turn of the century. Trials, which were pretty ghastly and awful, and there was a lot of political targeting, and of course, people who really weren't witches and warlocks died for no good reason. And more reliable medicines that you see having some technical